OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping Orange County. With your host, Don Camber.
Hello, live from the OC Talk Radio studios at UCI's Beale Applied Innovation Center. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Don Camber with two great guests impacting our community in a positive way. Today, I welcome San Juan Capistrano Fiesta Association President Jim Taylor and First Vice President and Mercado Chair Michelle Erca. The Fiesta Association is putting on the 63rd Annual Swallows Day Parade Saturday, March 25th in San Juan Capistrano. Thank you, Jim and Michelle, for being on Impact OC.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Don. Thanks for having us.
Jim, please explain why San Juan Capistrano celebrates the return of the Swallows to the city, which leads up to the parade Saturday, March 25th.
Yes, well, the Swallows always return to San Juan Capistrano, typically on St. Joseph's Day, March 19th. They're actually here now. So I don't know if the scouts came early or maybe they never left. They're supposed to leave and go back to Goya, Argentina in October. But nobody's ever followed them. I mean, they could be going to Pacoima for all we know.
This is true.
But the Swallows are here. We celebrate the Swallows' return to San Juan. They're everywhere, and they are back now.
Can you describe what they look like?
Birds, little birds.
If you want to chime in.
Wings.
Wings, two wings,
Two of them.
one on either side. We have the barn swallows, and then there's a split tail swallow, but the barn swallow is the one I think that we're celebrating, right?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Well,
that's it.
someone
We're going
is-
to go with that.
Well, someone has characterized the swallows as a bird that looks inebriated as it flies because it doesn't fly straight.
And it flies, it flies like a bat out of you-know-where. It just darts, but you know what? It's a mosquito eater. It's great. I love them.
Now, we have the parade March 25th, Saturday, March 25th, and I'd like you to share with us the parade features.
Well, first of all, we haven't had horses in the Swallows Day Parade since 2019. So 2019 was a normal year. 2020, a week and a half before the parade, we got hit with the pandemic. We got shut down. 2021, we still weren't open. 2022, we got the green light in February for a March parade. And 9 days before the parade, the state issued a quarantine on all the horses. So for the first time in 62 years, the Swallows Day Parade was a motorized parade. And then this year, our theme is back in the saddle again. And we've got horses again for the first time since 2019. Right now, we're looking at about 230 horses, just over 20 wagons, 7 marching bands, and a lot of walking units. It's going to be very entertaining.
We want to point out it's billed as a non-motorized parade. That's why we have horses and no motors in the parade.
No motors unless it's an ADA wheelchair. But if it's, it's no cars, no trucks. That's why last year was such an aberration because we had a choice, cancel the parade for the third year or pivot and make it a motorized parade, which we did. You were there. You were announcing the parade.
Yeah, I'm an announcer. I'll tell everyone I'm an announcer in the place formerly called Murray Calendars. I know that place has been pulverized, but that's where I will be announcing along with my husband, Garrison West. But the parade begins at
11 o'clock.
And give us the parade route.
Well, the parade route, it'll start at Ortega and Del Obispo. Actually, that's not called Ortega Highway anymore, that little section of road. It's Old Mission Road. It used to be called Ortega Highway.
A lot of changes.
Just
Yes.
that section downtown right
Just
by
that.
the Mission Inn.
Yep, just that little section. So it starts off at Ortega and Del Obispo, goes down to Camino Capistrano, where it turns right and heads all the way down to La Zanja, 1.6 miles.
And then during the parade and after the parade, there's a big Mercado, which Michelle's in charge of.
Yeah, we've got a great lineup this year of vendors, a variety of merchandise, lots of clothing and Western vendors, accessories, jewelry. We've got a full park full of kids' inflatables and all kinds of games and things going on for families as well. And we also have lots of beer and wine tents going all day long. So we'll be, Mercado starts at 9. Start selling beer and wine around 11, etc. So we'll be having fun all day long. We've got a great band coming up, Whiskey Ridge. They go on right at the end of the parade, and we've got a DJ. So there'll be a lot for everyone to do.
Jim, what kind of units can we look for the parade?
What kind of units?
What kind of units will be in the parade?
Well, as far as the equestrian, we have got the 11th Cavalry. out of Fort Irwin. I didn't even know the Army still had a mounted cavalry. We've got the Orange County Sheriff's mounted, the Long Beach mounted, the Riverside mounted, the Merced County mounted. A lot of sheriff's posses are coming down. Circle D Ranch, which is basically it's the animal side of Disney. They've got a they've got a big presence. The marching bands are what are awesome. I mean, we don't have any local bands on the parade because it's not band season in South Orange County. We've got one band coming from Thermal, California.
I always say it sounds so hot there.
It's
Thermal,
like,
California.
it's like you go out in the middle of nowhere and hang a left and there's Thermal. But this band is a middle school band, 135 kids, 3 buses. They've never seen the ocean.
Wow.
So they're coming to the parade. And not only are they a good marching band, but they're a championship marching band. They regularly get the sweepstakes award in the competitions and beat the high school band. So we're looking forward to this, a huge 135 kid band. And then they're going to do the parade. They're going to change. They're going to go back in their buses, and they're going to head to the beach.
Oh, to see that.
For the first time, yeah.
Wow. But you also have a lot of different kinds of units, and for many people, they get to see what kinds of organizations children can be part of.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of nonprofits that are participating. We've asked all the walking units and even the equestrian units to step up their game a little bit. You know, as an announcer, you know, you try to keep it going, you try to keep it exciting, but, you know, after 200 horses go down the road, the last thing somebody wants to see is, oh, look, there's 5 guys on some brown horses. Oh, look, there's some people waving and wearing T-shirts. Dress it up, you know, come as a posse, you know, dress up in Old West outfits, engage the crowd, and that way people won't be looking down their phones, and it'll give the announcers more to play with. But, the equestrian groups, we got the mini horses and the mini cows.
Oh yeah.
Mini
They were
cows.
in our pet parade as well that we just had, and we've got a lot of winners from the pet parade in various categories that will be in the parade along with those mini cows and mini horses.
We want to point out in March there's many activities to celebrate the return of the Swallows, including the day before the Swallows Day Parade on March 24th, which is Hoosgow Day. Share.
Well, basically, we have 2 jails that we haul around town, and we arrest people who aren't dressed in Western apparel. And they can get out of jail, providing they make a donation or buy a souvenir. And then at 4 o'clock, it's over, and then we head down to Los Rios Park, where we're going to be doing, I think it's the 8th annual frog jumping contest.
I'm not sure where this ever came along from, but did you come up with the frog jumping contest?
No, I inherited the frog jumping contest.
Okay. It's
That we actually bring in a Mark Twain impersonator. He talks about the frog jumping contest at Calaveras County one year, and I'm going to try to do it again this year. We brought in a frog scientist from the U.S. Geological Survey to come in and talk to the kids. So we have Mark Twain doing his bit, and then we had a young lady who's a frog scientist for the Geological Survey. She comes in and talks about frogs. They have a lizard scientist. They have snake scientists. I thought they just, you know, dealt with rocks, but they're pretty well balanced over there. And then we do the frog jumping, where we teach children how to gamble.
That's right. You can bet on your favorite frog to win, and they have to basically jump outside the circle.
Exactly.
Whoever jumps outside the circle first wins.
So the parade logistics, I understand there's a lot of people who come into town. So where can they park?
Well, this main streets, Camino Capistrano, Ortega Highway, Del Obispo, shut down at 10 o'clock in the morning. The feeder streets start shutting down at 6 a.m. and all the internal small streets are closed at 8 o'clock for people going in, but people can still escape. Kind of like Hotel California. You can
You can
check out, but you just can't check back in. Parking. My recommendation is take the train. Metrolink has got 4 trains running. Amtrak this year is, for the first time ever, is honoring Metrolink's $10 weekend or $10 pass kids ride free. So there's about 8 trains that you can take to come in, park in Laguna Niguel or Irvine Station, Fullerton Station, and take the train. Come on down. It drops you right off in the center of everything at the San Juan Station. But if you are taking your car, we have 2 shuttle lots. One is at Capistrano Business Plaza. You get off on J. Serra Road and you go east, and then make a left on Marguerite Parkway to go to Capistrano Business Plaza, or make a right and go to Fluid Master. Those 2 locations, we've got shuttles running about every 15-20 minutes.
From what hours?
They'll start at 8 o'clock,
And they'll go till?
5 o'clock.
And that's the whole point. The parade is the culmination of the return of the swallows.
Yes.
So, and so share with us what this all means.
Well, this is
Well,
pretty deep.
I know. This is the 63rd
Third, 63rd.
Swallows Day Parade, and it is really a local tradition. It's a country western tradition. We try to keep all of these traditions alive. You know, there's several that we try to do throughout parade season that we've inherited, and we try to keep going, and then all leading up to the day of, and the parade is really something exciting for locals all around.
And the Fiesta Association puts this parade on, and share with us the planning that goes in to
Well,
this
we're
parade.
designated the lead agency. So we have a lot of control. We work hand in hand with the city, obviously, with the Orange County Sheriff's Department, Orange County Fire Authority, with the Orange County Health Department, with Public Works, even with Caltrans. I mean, because we have to get a permit to shut down that section of the Ortega off-ramp off the 5 freeway. So there are a lot of people involved, but somebody has to take lead. And since 1995, the city's designated us to be the lead agency, as long as we don't screw up. I mean,
Right. So far, so good.
so far we've been lucky. But
Good
we
people.
start planning in November, and then we start getting all of our ducks in a row, or our swallows in a row.
Right.
And then
Birds in a row.
and then around January we start meeting with everybody, the city, the county, and some of the state people, and we get all on the same page, and we discuss everything from road closures to urban runoff to trash to recycling to security. So we have everybody in the room at the time, so all the decisions can be made right then and there, and it runs really smoothly. We do 3 of those. We used to do like 6 or 7, but
And-
now we've got it down to a science.
And how many members are part of the Fiesta Association?
We've got a core group of about 75 members, but on parade day we'll have close to 300 volunteers.
And how do you know they're a volunteer?
Well, if they're a Fiesta member, they'll be wearing black and white. They'll be a black vest, white shirt, white blouse. Not at the same time. It'll be a shirt or a blouse.
Right.
And then they will have a sheriff's badge, and most of them should have a rosette, a black rosette that says parade official. The volunteers, most of them will have volunteer ribbons. But
You can look for black and whites and a black cowboy hat or cowgirl hat. Yep.
And the parade has a master of ceremonies,
well, a grand marshal.
a grand marshal.
Grand Marshal this year is Dennis Quaid. If you look back in history, when the first parade was in 1960, it was all celebrities. I mean, Audie Murphy, Barbara Stanwyck, Buddy Ebsen, Claude Akins, all the way up to Dan Haggerty. You know, they were all, and basically, if there was a Western on TV in the 60s, then the star of that Western, with the exception of Gunsmoke, they never got James Arness.
No, they didn't.
So we haven't had a celebrity in quite a while. I worked with Dennis Quaid a couple of years ago. You did too. The two of us worked with Dennis, and we've wound up getting a little bit of a relationship. And we asked him if he would be interested in being the Grand Marshal, and he said yes. So we had Eric Roberts last year, not as a Grand Marshal, but as a celebrity guest. And we said, let's try and bring these celebrities back. One of the reasons we're doing that is everything is getting so expensive. We're 100% community funded, so we don't get any tax dollars. So we have to raise the money ourselves through fundraising, sponsorships, donations, merchandise sales, and we do have a tremendous amount of support in the community, but prices have just gone through the roof. Not just inflation, but people compensating, companies compensating for the losses they had over COVID. So in some cases, our expenses have doubled or tripled. Typically, the parade costs about $75,000 to $125,000 to put on. Not this year. Not last year. It's worse this year. So by bringing in a internationally known Grand Marshal, we're hoping to get a little bit more national recognition for the Swallows Day Parade, and maybe bring in a bigger sponsor, somebody that can help offset some of the costs. Our normal sponsors, they're wonderful. They come in, they help us out, they do everything they can do, but we're looking for one more. You know, maybe a Stetson or a John Deere or somebody like that will come in and say, here, look, here's $25,000, and that would do it. That coupled with what we raise on our own, that'd be fine. We're a 100% volunteer organization. We have no paid staff, so everything that we do is of our own time,
Wait, I'm not going to get paid.
Oh,
Sugar.
you missed that meeting.
Yeah. Apparently.
So what are the demographics of your members, the
Oh, my
Fiesta
goodness.
Association members?
The demographics?
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, we've got a lot of,
Human.
human. They are of the human species. They are great. They're characters. A lot of people are retired and can, love to help out. They come and try to help out and volunteer at as many events as possible. They actually earn a badge every 3 events that they volunteer at. So that's something they all like. And but they're a little older, retired. We're getting a little younger draw lately in the last couple of years, and
We've been pushing family friendly for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you recall the parade last year. I've never seen so many strollers.
Right.
We had so many families down there, and that's what we've been trying to do for so many years. Now, the downside to that, one of our biggest fundraisers every year is the beer and wine sales. So we were anticipating X number of dollars that helps offset some of the costs from this year, and then goes towards next year's parade. And our beer and wine sales were half of what they were anticipated. But that's because Dad only had 1 beer because he brought the kids. He didn't get a babysitter. So it was a trade-off. We got what we wished for, and now we're just we're rolling with it. And we actually we like it. Last year at the parade, Sheriff's Department reported no drunken public, no incidents. We had 0 incidents with almost 50,000 people down there. So that was huge. So we're attributing that to going family friendly, and that's bringing in younger members that have younger kids.
And the parade is a tradition. Many people bring their families, and there's generations of people who keep coming to the parade.
My mom, who was from Connecticut, always talked about the Swallows Day Parade, and she came out and saw it when she turned 80, and I was working it, and even got to sing the national anthem that year, and it was a really special day. Anyway, there's a lot of people around the country that know of the Swallows Day Parade.
So how can people plan their day to go to the parade on Saturday, March 25th?
I would seriously, you can't beat the Metrolink deal. It's $10, and if your kids are under 18, they ride free.
Yeah, but if you live in town, then what should you do?
Live in town. If you live in San Juan Capistrano, then the trolleys are running. The city trolleys are running, and we have our shuttles.
Or you can park in surrounding parking lots, before 10 a.m. If you want to get closer to the parade route.
But they have to understand they're going to be trapped until 1:30, 2 o'clock, until the streets open up again. But the locals always find a way. They always find a way. We have reserved parking for the VIP section and for the Mercado vendors and any vendors that we have working the parade. They obviously have to have parking. But parking in San Juan, even on a non-parade day, is a challenge. And we're trying to do our best with the shuttle service that we have. The hotel has their own shuttle service, so their guests will be able to get in and out, no problem. But the train is the screaming deal, because one thing though, the tracks will be closed south of San Clemente. So anybody that's coming up from Carlsbad or Oceanside, the tracks are going to be closed. But if you're coming from north of San Clemente, you can get into the San Juan station, no problem.
And when should they stake their place for the parade?
People are staking it out the night before. But this is what happens and it happens at every parade that we do. Somebody gets there at 3 o'clock in the morning and puts their lawn chair out on the curb, and then 35 people show up 10 minutes before the parade and stand in front of them. So, I mean, that's life, right? I mean, it's like you get the nice VIP seat at the concert, and then everybody rushes the stage.
Right.
Give us the website where people can get information about the Swallows Day Parade, which is Saturday, March 25th.
That's swallowsparade.org.
And .com, both.
And .com.
And I think .net. We
And
got 'em all.
.net.
Okay. Thank you, San Juan Capistrano Fiesta Association President Jim Taylor and First Vice President and Mercado Chair Michelle Erca for being on Impact OC. And I thank everyone for tuning in. I'm OC Talk Radio Public Affairs Director Dawn Camber. Have an impactful day.
You've been listening to Impact OC, the only program showcasing the people and organizations shaping our community. Right here on Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio.